Let me tell you something about life and protecting what's important, as well as understanding the power of keeping certain things private. We live in a world where people feel the need to share everything, every thought, every plan, every feeling. Social media, casual talks, and even close relationships have all become platforms for oversharing. People share so much and then wonder why they feel drained, judged, or even betrayed. But not everything is meant to be shared. Some things should stay close to your heart. There is strength in holding back and power in keeping certain things to yourself, guarding them like treasures because they are valuable. In a world where it seems everything is up for public discussion, the art of discretion has become undervalued. But trust me, there's great wisdom in knowing what to keep private and what to share. When you open yourself up too freely, you risk losing the essence of who you are, allowing the noise of the world to drown out your inner voice. Some things like your personal dreams, your health struggles, and your vulnerabilities should be shielded from the opinions and judgments of others. By keeping these parts of yourself sacred, you maintain control over your own story and protect your peace of mind. When you share too much too soon, you can easily feel exposed, and even worse, manipulated. People may have good intentions, but not everyone will handle your truth with care, and sometimes the things you share with the wrong people will come back to haunt you, leaving you questioning why you opened up in the first place. In 2025, I encourage you to choose wisely. Guard what's valuable, protect your inner world, and share your true self only with those who have earned the right to see it. Keep your power, your integrity, and your peace intact, because not everything needs to be revealed. Some of the most profound and important aspects of your life are meant to be kept close and nurtured in silence until the time is right. Don't share your future plans. It's not about being secretive, it's about keeping your journey sacred. Your goals are personal, and not everyone will understand your vision or cheer for you. Some people may mock you, misunderstand you, or even hope for your failure. That's just the truth. When you share your plans too early, you give others a chance to plant seeds of doubt. They may ask, are you sure that will work, or do you really think you can do it? Even if you're confident, those doubts can grow and slow you down. But when you keep your plans private, you're protecting your dreams. You give them the space to grow without interference. Let your actions speak for themselves. Share your success when the work is done, when your foundation is strong, and when the results speak for themselves, not for validation, but because the work is undeniable. This goes beyond future plans. It's about protecting your personal details, your family struggles, and the secrets others have trusted you with. Your financial details, for example, are personal. In the wrong hands, that information could be misused. Someone might envy your success, take advantage of your generosity, or even judge you unfairly. Keep it to yourself. Family struggles are another thing to guard. Every family has its challenges, but sharing those issues with outsiders weakens the bonds that hold you together. Resolve them within your family or with a professional who can truly help. Protect those relationships, they're precious. And secrets, when someone confides in you, treat their trust as gold. Don't break it for attention or gossip. Trust is hard to build, easy to lose, and nearly impossible to restore once it's broken. Even your good deeds don't need to be broadcast. True kindness doesn't seek recognition. Let your actions speak for themselves. That's where the real value lies. Your health is another personal matter. Not everyone needs to know what you're going through. Share with those who care, those who can help, and those in your inner circle. The world isn't your diary, and public opinions on something so personal often do more harm than good. Finally, don't share your weaknesses or fears with just anyone. Those are yours to overcome, not to give away. Sharing them with the wrong people gives them power over you, and not everyone will use that power to help. Some will use it to hurt. Be wise. Keep some things to yourself. Guard your peace and protect your treasures, because sometimes what you don't share is just as important as what you do. Don't share family issues either. Your family is your foundation, your safe space. Sharing what happens inside your family weakens that safety. It lets others in, people who may not care about your well-being and might only use that knowledge to judge or harm you. Keep family matters private. Not everyone deserves access to your heart or your struggles. We live in a world where oversharing is the norm. Social media, casual conversations, and coffee shop chats can all become traps, tempting you to expose your personal life to people who don't truly care or carry the same love and responsibility that you do. Choose what you share carefully. Hold on to what's sacred. Guard your life like the treasure it is. Protect your family by keeping their struggles, challenges, and imperfections private. This isn't about being secretive, it's about being respectful. When you hold back from sharing, you honor your family by not letting the world pick apart their humanity. Think of your family like a strong tree. Its roots grow deep, keeping it steady and alive. But if you dig up those roots and expose them to the world, the tree becomes vulnerable. It's no longer protected from the harsh winds or storms. That's what happens when you share family struggles with people who don't have your family's best interests at heart. You weaken the foundation. You weaken the bonds that hold you together. Now, keeping things private doesn't mean ignoring them. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means handling those issues with love, care, and intention within your family. It's about working through the tough times together, not putting them on display for the world to judge. Of course, sometimes the weight feels heavy. You may want to talk to someone to ease the burden. When you do, be wise. Choose someone who's proven they care, who listens with discretion, and offers real support, not someone looking to gossip. If you've made the mistake of oversharing before, it's okay. Learn from it. Grow from it. Decide today that you won't let your family struggles become entertainment for others. Don't let your vulnerabilities become weapons in someone else's hands. Family isn't just about blood, it's about the people who love you unconditionally, who stand by you no matter what. That kind of love deserves to be protected. It deserves respect. And it deserves your silence when the world tries to pry into things that aren't their business. The outside world is noisy and judgmental, but inside your home it should be a space of peace, forgiveness, and patience, a place to grow and heal without fear of judgment or public scrutiny. That's only possible if you keep what happens inside those walls private. This doesn't mean bottling everything up. There's strength in seeking help when it's needed, but even then, it's about finding the right person, the right place, and the right moment. You can protect your family's dignity while getting the support you need. If your family feels broken, remember that broken things can be repaired. Healing starts with trust. It begins by keeping your family struggles within your circle, away from people who won't understand or care. The world doesn't see your family the way you do. They don't see the love behind the arguments, the sacrifices behind closed doors, or the quiet moments of forgiveness and rebuilding. That's your story. It doesn't belong to anyone else. Protect it. Guard it like the treasure it is, imperfect, messy, but precious. When you keep your family struggles private, you're not just protecting them, you're showing them that they matter. You're saying their pain, flaws, and humanity are worth safeguarding. And when you start treating your family like the treasure it is, things change. You stop seeing only mistakes and start seeing potential. You stop focusing on what's wrong and start building on what's right. So don't share family issues with just anyone. Keep them with the people who live them with you, who care about the outcome, not the drama. That's how you honor your family. That's how you build a foundation that stands strong, no matter how hard life's storms hit. Honor your family by respecting their struggles. Protect their stories. Keep their pain private. When you do, you create a safe space where love can grow, trust can deepen, and healing can take place. That, my friends, is the foundation of a strong and unshakable family. Now, let's talk about secrets. When someone shares their fears, dreams, or past with you, they're trusting you with a piece of their heart. That trust is sacred, not given lightly. You have a responsibility to protect it. Think about it. When someone opens up to you, they're showing vulnerability. They're letting you see their true self. They believe you'll treat their words with care. But what happens if you break that trust? Trust is like glass, beautiful but fragile. Once broken, it's never the same. Even if you try to repair it, the cracks remain, and those cracks remind us of what's been lost. People carry battles you may never see, burdens they rarely share. When they confide in you, they're not looking for judgment or betrayal. They're looking for understanding, safety, and someone who will simply listen. When you're trusted with someone's secret, you become a guardian, not a gossip, not a storyteller, a guardian. And guardians protect what's entrusted to them. In today's world, oversharing is everywhere. But the things shared in confidence are not for the world. They're not for attention or drama. They're meant only for you because someone believed you were trustworthy. Keeping a secret safe strengthens bonds and deepens relationships. It makes you the kind of person others can rely on, and that's powerful. That's respect. But if you break that trust, you lose more than just someone's confidence. You lose respect, credibility, and a part of your own integrity. Integrity isn't about what you do when everyone is watching. It's about who you are when no one's looking. It's about keeping promises and choosing to do what's right, even when it's hard. By protecting a secret, you show integrity. You honor the trust someone placed in you. You become someone worth relying on. Yes, keeping a secret can feel heavy at times, but that weight isn't a burden, it's a privilege. It means someone saw strength in you and believed you could carry it. That's a gift. Think about your relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues. They're all built on trust, not wealth, not status, but trust. And when you protect someone's secret, you strengthen that foundation. Sure, the temptation to share might be strong. You might think it's just one person, it won't hurt. But how would you feel if your deepest fears or most personal stories were passed around? Would you ever trust that person again? Life is full of choices, and keeping a secret is one of them. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Choosing to honor someone's trust isn't just about them. It's about who you are and the person you want to be. When you choose to protect someone's trust, you're choosing to be your best self. You're choosing to rise above the noise, the drama, and the temptation to betray. You're choosing to stand for something meaningful. And let me tell you, there's no better feeling than knowing you did right by someone, knowing you were their safe place, their confidant, their protector. That's the kind of legacy worth leaving behind, not a legacy of broken trust, betrayal, or empty words, but one built on loyalty, respect, and honor. So the next time someone trusts you with a secret, remember this: it's not just words, it's a piece of them, a legacy. And people will remember you not for the things you said or the things you did to get ahead, but for the way you treated them, the way you kept their trust safe. You made them feel safe, valued, and understood, and that's something to cherish. Guard it fiercely, because when you protect their trust, you are also protecting your own integrity, character, and soul. That is priceless. That is the kind of person you want to be, a person whose word is unshakable, whose integrity is steadfast. Now think about this: when you protect someone's secret, you're not just protecting them, you're also protecting your own character. You're showing the world that you can be trusted, that your actions align with your words, and in a world where trust is so easily broken, that is something rare and invaluable. It takes courage to keep someone's secret, especially when the temptation to share it feels so strong. But trust me, the strength it takes to protect that trust will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. So when someone confides in you with their most vulnerable moments, don't take it lightly. Recognize the responsibility that comes with it. Hold it close, protect it fiercely, and by doing so, you protect not just their heart, but your own integrity, your own character, and your place in this world. Because in the end, the true value of our relationships isn't about what we gain, but about what we give. And when you give someone the gift of your trust, you're offering them something more precious than anything money can buy. You're offering them your respect, your loyalty, and your word, and that, my friends, is priceless. Now, when it comes to sharing health concerns, I'm not saying you should bottle everything up, but hear me out: your health is your business. Your body, your mind, and your spirit are sacred. When you face challenges, the world doesn't need to know every single detail. Keep some of that power for yourself. When you share too much too quickly, you open yourself up to opinions. And let's be honest, not all opinions are helpful. Some people may mean well, but others will cast doubt or tell you that you're not strong enough. That kind of noise doesn't help. What you need is focus. You need faith, determination, and the right kind of support. Turn to professionals, to God, to prayer, whatever gives you strength. That's where you'll find clarity and solutions, not in the chatter of the crowd or the noise of opinions from people who've never walked in your shoes. There will be days when it feels impossible, when the pain or uncertainty feels overwhelming, but those moments do not define you. What defines you is how you rise in the face of it. Don't let the world write your story, you take control. Your health journey is not just about your body, it's about your mind and soul. It's about how you choose to carry yourself, even when the weight feels unbearable. Carry yourself with grace, strength, and dignity. You don't need to announce your battles to prove your worth. The world doesn't need to see your scars to know you're a fighter. Keep that fight within you. Let it burn quietly but fiercely. When you come out on the other side, and you won't just be healed, you'll be transformed. So keep it close, keep it sacred, and keep moving forward. When it comes to sharing your weaknesses and fears, be cautious. Not everyone in your circle is rooting for you. Some people wait for the moment you let your guard down just to use it against you. It's harsh, but it's the truth. There are always people who will take your vulnerabilities and turn them into weapons, so why hand them the tools to hurt you? Why give anyone the chance to shake your confidence or self-belief? I'm not saying you should suppress your emotions or pretend everything is fine when it's not. We all have struggles. I've been knocked down, faced failures, doubts, and fears, but I didn't let those fears define me, and I didn't share them with anyone who wouldn't help me rise above them. You need to be selective about who you trust. Share your struggles, but only with the right people, the ones who will lift you up, empower you, and encourage you to keep going when things get tough. You can't share your heart with everyone. Not everyone plays by the same rules, and not everyone has your best interests at heart. So choose carefully. Protect your vulnerabilities and only open up to those who truly deserve to hold that trust. And here's the truth, your journey is yours alone. There will always be people who doubt you, criticize you, and want to see you fail. But none of that matters unless you let it. You get to decide how you respond to the world. You get to decide how much space you give to negativity, doubts, and fear. The power lies in your hands. Every challenge you face is just another opportunity to prove to yourself what you're made of. So when the world tries to pull you down, when the weight feels unbearable, remember that every ounce of strength you need is already inside of you. The resilience, the courage, the will to keep going, it's all there, waiting for you to tap into it. You don't need permission from anyone to rise. You don't need validation or approval. Your worth is not determined by what others say or think. It's determined by how you rise when things get tough, by how you carry yourself when no one is watching, by how you choose to fight, even when the odds are stacked against you. Life will push you to the edge, but you are not defined by your circumstances. You are defined by how you overcome them. So stay focused, stay strong, and stay true to yourself. You are capable of more than you realize, and with every step forward, you'll prove to yourself just how powerful you truly are. We've all had moments when we felt weak, when the world seemed to close in, and our fears felt overwhelming. When doubt creeps in and tries to pull us down, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to have doubts, but remember, you can't let those fears control you. You can't let them define you. We all have flaws, but it's how we handle them that matters. You've got to stand up, face your fear, and keep moving forward no matter how tough it gets. You need to build yourself from within because no one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to fight your battles for you. You have to be your own champion. And let me remind you, strength isn't just about the muscles you build or the battles you win in the outside world. True strength comes from the resilience you show when no one else is watching. It comes from facing the hardest days, the ones that break you down, and still choosing to rise. It comes from knowing that you have the power to shape your own destiny, regardless of the obstacles in your path. The world may try to tell you that you're weak because of your struggles, but that's a lie. Your struggles are not your identity. They are simply stepping stones that prepare you for greatness. Every time you get knocked down, every time you face something that scares you, you are given an opportunity to grow. It's the things you overcome that make you stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. So stop worrying about proving anything to anyone else. The only person you need to prove anything to is yourself. Be proud of how far you've come, of how you're still standing even after everything. The strength you carry inside is not something that can be taken away by anyone else's doubts or fears. You are the author of your own story, and you get to decide how it unfolds. So don't let anyone or anything dictate your worth. You've got the power. Keep moving forward with confidence, and remember that every step you take is a step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. I'm not saying you need to be perfect. None of us are. We all make mistakes and fall short sometimes. But it's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about staying in the fight, even when the odds are against you. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work, even when you're scared, tired, or ready to quit. Fear only has power over you if you let it. Fear is like a shadow. It only seems big and scary when you give it attention. But when you stop focusing on it, when you walk with faith and belief in yourself, that fear starts to shrink. It loses its power. So don't share your weaknesses with people who won't help you grow. Don't share your fears with those who won't encourage you to rise above them. Find people who see your struggles and say, "You got this." Find people who remind you of your strength, your potential, and that you're not defined by your fears or weaknesses. Don't let anyone tell you that your weaknesses define you. Don't let anyone tell you that your fears are too big to overcome. Don't let anyone make you feel small because of your doubts. These things don't define you. They're just obstacles that you can overcome with the right mindset. You've got to believe in yourself. You are stronger than the struggles you face. You are more than your fears and weaknesses. You need to have faith in your ability to overcome anything. You've already been through so much. You've fought battles that no one has seen. You've shown resilience in ways you might not even realize. And the truth is, you don't need to share all your struggles with everyone. You don't need to show your vulnerabilities to everyone. You don't need to seek validation from others. What matters is what you believe about yourself. What matters is the strength you know you have inside. What matters is how you rise when life knocks you down. Every time you face a challenge, every time you feel afraid, every time you want to give up, you have a choice. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it make you stronger. You can let it push you to be better, to rise higher. It's up to you. So don't let anyone tell you that you're weak or that your fears are too big to overcome. You are stronger than you know. You are capable of more than you think. And remember, you are not defined by your weaknesses or fears. You are defined by how you rise above them. Not everyone is meant to see your journey. Not everyone will understand your fight, and that's okay. Not everyone will believe in you the way you believe in yourself, and that's fine. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need their validation. Just keep moving forward. Keep fighting and keep believing in your strength. As you go through life, remember, don't share your weaknesses and fears with just anyone. Protect them. Only share them with people who truly care about you, who will help you grow, and who will lift you up when you're down. Not everyone deserves to see that part of you. Only those who will help you rise deserve that trust. You've got this. Believe in yourself. You are stronger than you know, and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Don't let fear control you. Don't let weaknesses define you. Keep pushing forward and let your strength shine through. As you move forward, remember that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. You are not defined by the moments when you struggle, but by the way you rise above them. So hold your head high, keep pushing forward, and trust in the power within you. No matter what comes your way, you have everything you need to overcome it. And as you keep going, remember you are capable, you are strong, and you are worth every effort it takes to succeed. Keep believing in yourself because your journey is just beginning. You've got this. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes in life, a woman has to walk alone. It's not because she wants to, but because those around her don't align with the depth of her spirit. As you move through this world, you'll notice that many people surround themselves with others simply to fill the emptiness, to fight off the loneliness. But a woman who chooses to walk alone, she understands her power. There's a certain strength in walking alone, especially for a woman. Independence and self-sufficiency are qualities that don't develop overnight. They are earned through experience, trial, and often solitude. A woman who stands on her own 2 feet, without relying on a group of friends to validate her, isn't just surviving, she is thriving in her own right. She understands that her strength doesn't come from others, but from deep within herself. In a world where companionship and social connections are often worshipped, it's easy to forget the immense power of being independent. Society tries to convince us that we need a tribe, a support system, or a group of people to navigate life. But not everyone is made to follow the crowd. A woman who chooses to live independently has learned to trust herself because, in the end, she knows she's the only one who truly has her back. This kind of self-sufficiency isn't about rejecting relationships or pushing others away. It's about realizing that while relationships can be valuable, they don't define her. She doesn't need the approval or validation of others to feel important or worthy. Her worth is something she defines for herself, something she carries with her every day. When faced with difficulties, she doesn't run to others for answers. She looks inward, trusting her instincts, her wisdom, and her experiences. This internal strength sets her apart from those who depend on others for opinions and support. When a woman is self-sufficient, she becomes unshakable. She doesn't fall apart when people leave her life, nor does she crumble in the face of adversity. Instead, she taps into the deep reservoir of strength that she's built over time, a well of resilience that is all her own. She's learned that the only person she can truly count on is herself, and that is more than enough. This isn't just about emotional resilience, it's about being able to navigate life without needing constant approval from others. She makes her own decisions and takes responsibility for them, knowing that her life is hers to shape. Independence also means having the courage to stand alone in her beliefs, her values, and her vision for life. It's easy to get caught up in what others are doing, to follow the trends, to go along with the crowd, but a self-sufficient woman doesn't care about what's easy. She cares about what is right for her. This kind of independence requires a level of self-awareness and confidence that many never develop because they are too focused on pleasing others. But a woman who stands alone has learned to tune out society's noise. She listens to her own voice, her own needs, and makes decisions that are true to herself. This independence is not just a survival tactic, it's a form of empowerment. A woman with this kind of inner strength knows that she can rely on herself in any situation. She doesn't need others to solve her problems or guide her. She becomes her own guide, carving out her own path in life. This kind of self-sufficiency is rare, but it is what allows her to thrive, even when walking alone. One of the key aspects of independence is self-reliance, not just in making decisions, but in every part of life. A self-sufficient woman learns to take care of herself emotionally, mentally, and physically. She doesn't wait for someone else to rescue her or fix her problems. She takes charge of her own happiness, health, and future. This is what makes her so powerful. She is not dependent on anyone else to determine her sense of worth. This doesn't mean that she never needs help or that she shuts others out. When she does seek support, it's on her own terms. She isn't reliant on others for her survival or sense of self. She's built a life that she can sustain on her own, and that is a rare and empowering thing. But this kind of independence doesn't isolate her, it enhances the relationships she chooses to have. A woman who is self-sufficient doesn't enter relationships out of need or desperation. She surrounds herself with people she values, not because she needs them to complete her, but because she wants to share her life with them. This creates an atmosphere of balance and respect in her relationships, something many people never experience. Independence is freedom. It frees her from the constraints of others' opinions, expectations, and judgments. It allows her to walk her own path, guided by her internal compass. A woman who is truly self-sufficient isn't afraid to walk alone because she knows that wherever she goes, she's enough. She has everything she needs within herself to not just survive, but to thrive. In life, we often get caught up in the belief that the more people we surround ourselves with, the better off we'll be. But a woman who chooses to walk alone understands something deeper. She knows that the value of relationships is not measured by the number of people around you, but by their depth, meaning, and authenticity. It's not about how many friends you have, but about the quality of those connections. Many people chase popularity. They fill their lives with social gatherings and endless friends, believing it gives them a sense of worth. The more friends, the more events, the more validation they get, the better they feel about themselves. But this kind of thinking leads only to shallow, fleeting connections. They temporarily fill the space, but they don't provide the deep nourishment that true friendship offers. A woman who understands the value of quality over quantity is different. She's learned that not everyone deserves access to her time, energy, or life. True friendship isn't about being surrounded by a crowd of people who barely know you. It's about having a few individuals who deeply understand you, who support you in tough times, and who challenge you to grow. A woman who values quality over quantity seeks depth. She doesn't care for small talk or surface-level interactions. She craves meaningful conversations, and she looks for people who see her for who she truly is, not just for what she can offer them in the moment. This approach to relationships requires strength. It's easy to fill your life with acquaintances to avoid being alone, but it takes wisdom to realize that true connection is rare. It cannot be rushed or forced. A woman who values quality understands that it's better to have one or two real friends than 100 superficial ones. She doesn't care about the appearance of connection, she cares about its substance. Choosing quality over quantity also means knowing when to let go. People will drift in and out of your life, and that's okay. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, and a woman who values quality understands this. She doesn't hold on to relationships that no longer serve her. She doesn't cling to people out of fear of being alone. She's confident enough in herself to release what no longer aligns with her path, even if it means having fewer people in her life. Letting go isn't always easy, especially when there's a history or emotional investment, but holding on to draining or toxic relationships only holds her back. A woman who understands the importance of quality knows it's better to walk alone than to walk with people who don't truly care about her. This mindset shapes the way she approaches new relationships too. She's not in a rush to fill her life with people for the sake of appearances. She takes her time getting to know others, understanding their intentions, and seeing if they align with her values. She's not seeking perfection, but she's looking for authenticity. If a relationship feels forced or unbalanced, she's willing to step back. She understands that true connection can't be faked, and she's patient enough to wait for the right people to come into her life. By valuing quality over quantity, a woman frees herself from the pressure to meet societal expectations. Society often measures success by the number of friends you have, how often you're invited to social events, and how connected you appear to be. But a woman who prioritizes quality understands that these forms of validation are empty. She's not concerned with keeping up appearances. She's focused on building genuine relationships that truly enrich her life. In the quiet moments when she's alone with her thoughts, she doesn't feel lonely. That's because the few relationships she does have are rich, fulfilling, and real. These are the people she can rely on when things get tough. They'll stand by her no matter what. She doesn't need a large circle to feel secure because the connections she has are more than enough. This approach also allows her to be fully present with those in her life. When you're stretched thin, trying to maintain dozens of shallow friendships, it's hard to give your full attention to anyone. But a woman who values quality has the time and energy to truly invest in the people who matter most. She can be there for them just as they are for her. It creates a bond built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Valuing quality over quantity isn't just about friendships, it's a way of life. It's about understanding that not everything that glitters is gold. It's about choosing depth over superficiality, meaning over appearance. A woman who understands this isn't swayed by the allure of popularity or the need for validation. She walks her own path, knowing that the few true connections she has are far more valuable than 100 hollow ones. She knows that the depth of her relationships is what truly enriches her life, not their number. Self-reflection and personal growth are powerful forces in a woman's journey, and solitude provides the perfect environment for these to thrive. When a woman finds herself without many friends, she has a rare opportunity that many overlook, the chance to truly understand herself on a deeper level. It's not that friendships don't offer insight or growth, but solitude provides a unique, uninterrupted space where a woman can focus on her development without distractions. Self-reflection becomes a tool that sharpens her awareness, helping her understand her strengths and how to thrive independently. In a world full of noise and social interaction, it's easy to lose touch with who you really are. So many people define themselves by the roles they play in relationships: friend, daughter, partner. But when those relationships aren't there, what remains? This is where the magic of solitude lies. Without external expectations or obligations, a woman is left with only herself. This time alone becomes an opportunity to ask important questions. What do I want? What do I believe in? Who am I when no one else is around? These questions are not easy, but a woman in solitude doesn't shy away from them. She faces herself honestly. Self-reflection isn't about being harsh on yourself, but rather about looking inward with compassion and curiosity. It's about understanding what drives you and what holds you back. This process may be uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. Through introspection, a woman starts to understand her emotional triggers, her strengths and weaknesses. With no friendships to distract her, she has the time to focus deeply on herself, allowing her inner voice to rise above the noise. This solitude is essential for her growth and empowerment. It's in these moments of quiet reflection that she realizes that personal growth isn't a one-time thing, it's a lifelong journey. Every experience, every challenge, every failure is an opportunity to learn and evolve. The ups and downs of life with grace. A woman who has developed emotional resilience through solitude understands that life isn't always easy, and that there will be challenges along the way. However, instead of being overwhelmed by these challenges, she faces them head-on. She no longer relies on others to provide the support or validation she may have once sought. Instead, she taps into her own strength and inner resources. This emotional fortitude allows her to navigate difficult times with a sense of calm and assurance. She doesn't avoid discomfort, but instead learns how to manage it in healthy and productive ways. In solitude, a woman is given the space to reflect on her emotions without the distractions of external influences. Without the noise of social interactions, she can turn inward and truly examine what she's feeling. This self-awareness helps her to identify patterns in her emotions and reactions, and it gives her the ability to choose how to respond to difficult situations. She is no longer a passive participant in her emotional life. She actively works to understand and manage her emotions in a way that allows her to stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of adversity. Another key benefit of emotional resilience is that it helps a woman to build self-esteem. When she learns to rely on herself emotionally, she gains a deeper sense of self-worth. She doesn't need the approval or validation of others because she knows her own value. This self-assurance is liberating, as it allows her to make decisions that are aligned with her true desires and goals, without being swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. She becomes confident in her ability to navigate life on her own terms, and this confidence radiates into every aspect of her life, from her career to her relationships. Developing emotional resilience also teaches a woman how to set healthy boundaries. When she's constantly surrounded by people, it's easy to lose sight of her own needs in the effort to please others or maintain harmony in relationships. However, when she walks alone, she learns to prioritize her own emotional well-being. She understands that it's okay to say no when necessary, and that she doesn't have to tolerate relationships or situations that drain her energy or compromise her peace. In solitude, she gains the clarity and strength to enforce these boundaries without feeling guilty or selfish. This ability to set boundaries doesn't mean that a woman isolates herself or shuts people out entirely. Instead, it means that she enters relationships from a place of strength and emotional independence. She no longer seeks to fill emotional gaps with others because she has already done the work of healing and nurturing herself. She values connection, but she doesn't cling to it out of fear or insecurity. She is comfortable with herself, and this comfort allows her to form healthier, more balanced relationships. She knows that her emotional well-being doesn't depend on anyone else, and this understanding empowers her to navigate the world with a sense of peace and confidence. Through the process of developing emotional resilience, a woman also learns how to trust herself. When she has faced difficult emotions and challenges on her own and emerged stronger, she begins to trust that she has the inner resources to handle whatever comes her way. She knows that she can rely on herself, and this self-trust becomes a powerful foundation for her life. It gives her the confidence to take risks, pursue her dreams, and make decisions that align with her true values and desires. She no longer second-guesses herself or seeks approval from others, because she knows that she is capable and worthy of the life she wants to create. This deep sense of self-trust also allows a woman to let go of perfectionism. When she is confident in her ability to handle challenges and manage her emotions, she no longer feels the need to be perfect or meet unrealistic expectations. She understands that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of life, and she embraces them as opportunities for growth. She is kinder to herself, and she gives herself permission to be imperfect, knowing that her worth is not defined by her mistakes, but by her ability to learn and grow from them. Another significant benefit of emotional resilience is that it helps a woman to cultivate a sense of inner peace. When she is no longer dependent on others for emotional support or validation, she learns to find peace within herself. She no longer seeks external sources of comfort or reassurance because she knows how to find peace in the present moment. She becomes more mindful of her thoughts and emotions, and she develops a sense of gratitude for the small things in life. This inner peace allows her to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and balance, and it becomes a guiding force as she moves through her journey. This emotional independence also allows a woman to focus on her personal growth and development. When she is no longer distracted by the expectations or demands of others, she can fully invest in herself. She has the time and energy to pursue her passions, learn new skills, and work towards her goals. She becomes more intentional about the life she wants to create, and she is empowered to take the steps necessary to make her dreams a reality. This focus on personal growth allows her to continually evolve into the best version of herself, and it gives her a sense of fulfillment that is independent of external factors. One of the most powerful aspects of emotional resilience is that it helps a woman to live authentically. When she has learned to trust herself, set boundaries, and navigate her emotions with grace, she no longer feels the need to conform to the expectations of others. She becomes more aligned with her true values and desires, and she lives in a way that is true to who she is. She no longer seeks validation or approval from others, because she knows that her worth comes from within. This authenticity allows her to create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and true to her unique purpose. In conclusion, solitude provides a woman with the space and opportunity to develop emotional resilience, independence, and self-trust. Through the process of self-reflection and emotional growth, she learns to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. She becomes more in tune with her emotions, more selective about her relationships, and more focused on her personal growth and happiness. This emotional independence empowers her to live authentically and create a life that is aligned with her true desires and values. Far from being a source of loneliness or isolation, solitude becomes a gift that allows a woman to reconnect with herself, heal from past wounds, and become the strongest, most resilient version of herself. When you spend time alone and learn to manage your emotions independently, you become less affected by external circumstances. If someone lets you down, if a relationship doesn't work, or if life throws unexpected challenges your way, you don't break. You've already learned how to stay strong in your solitude, how to lift yourself up without needing someone else to do it for you. This makes you more adaptable and less likely to be knocked off course by life's inevitable ups and downs. Independence and solitude also allow a woman to build a stronger sense of self-worth. When you're not always seeking approval from others, you begin to see your value differently. You start to understand that your worth isn't determined by how many friends you have, how often you're invited to social events, or how much praise you get from others. Instead, your worth comes from within your character, your integrity, your ability to persevere through tough times. This internal validation becomes far more meaningful than any outside approval ever could. Through this journey of emotional strength and independence, a woman also becomes more self-aware. She gains a deeper understanding of her triggers, her emotional patterns, and her strengths. She learns what makes her feel happy, fulfilled, and at peace, and she starts to build her life around those things instead of seeking fulfillment from outside sources. This level of self-awareness is empowering because it gives her the tools to move through life with purpose and clarity. Emotional resilience and independence are gifts that come from solitude. A woman who learns to stand on her own emotionally becomes unbreakable. She's not swayed by the opinions of others, she doesn't depend on external support to feel secure, and she's not afraid of being alone. Instead, she embraces her solitude as a source of strength and growth. She understands that true power comes from within, and that, no matter what life throws at her, she has the inner resources to face it with grace and resilience. This makes her not only stronger but also more at peace with herself and the world around her. When a woman walks alone, she naturally begins to prioritize her growth and well-being in ways that often get overlooked when she's surrounded by constant companionship or social noise. In solitude, she finds the clarity to focus on what truly matters to her, what nurtures her soul, and what leads her toward the life she desires. In this space of independence, she begins to shift her focus inward, making personal growth and self-care central to her daily life. Without the distractions of external relationships or the obligations of maintaining social connections, she has the freedom to ask herself the important questions: what do I want out of life? What truly makes me happy? What do I need to work on to become the best version of myself? These reflections often go unnoticed when someone is overwhelmed by the demands of friendships, family, or societal expectations. But when a woman walks alone, she has the chance to turn inward and prioritize her own growth and development without the noise of others' opinions or pressures. Personal growth, in this context, is multidimensional. It's not just about learning new skills or achieving career goals, though those are important. It's also about emotional, spiritual, and mental growth. It's about becoming more self-aware, understanding your triggers, your strengths, your weaknesses, and being willing to confront the areas where you need improvement. A woman who walks alone develops a deep sense of self-awareness because she has the time and space to reflect on her thoughts and behaviors without external distractions. She learns the value of self-care not in the superficial sense of pampering or temporary indulgences, but in the deeper sense of truly nurturing her mind, body, and spirit. She realizes that self-care is an essential part of her well-being, not a luxury or something to do only when she's feeling burned out. She starts to prioritize activities that replenish her energy, whether that's through exercise, meditation, reading, journaling, or simply spending time in nature. In doing so, she cultivates a sense of inner peace that becomes the foundation of her daily life. This prioritization of self-care also means that she becomes more intentional with her time. A woman who walks alone understands that her time is precious, and she doesn't waste it on activities or people who drain her energy. She becomes selective about how she spends her days, focusing on what truly matters to her growth and well-being. This might mean dedicating time to personal projects, learning new skills, or engaging in hobbies that bring her joy and fulfillment. She no longer feels the need to fill her schedule with meaningless social interactions or obligations just to fit in. Instead, she chooses activities that align with her values and contribute to her overall well-being as she continues to prioritize her growth. She also becomes more comfortable with setting boundaries. When you're alone, it's easier to see where you've been overextending yourself or letting others take advantage of your time and energy. Solitude gives her the clarity to recognize when she needs to say no, when she needs to protect her peace, and when she needs to prioritize her own needs over the demands of others. This boundary setting is an act of self-care in itself, helping her maintain a healthy balance between her relationships and her personal well-being. One of the most significant changes that happen when a woman walks alone is that she starts to trust herself more. Without the constant input or opinions of others, she learns to rely on her own judgment and intuition. She begins to make decisions based on what feels right for her rather than what others expect or suggest. This sense of self-trust is incredibly empowering because it allows her to move through life with confidence and certainty. She no longer feels the need to seek approval or validation from others, and she becomes more in tune with her own inner voice. This growing sense of self-trust also leads to greater self-respect. When a woman prioritizes her growth and well-being, she starts to see herself in a different light. She recognizes her worth and refuses to settle for less than she deserves, whether that's in her personal relationships, her career, or any other area of her life. She holds herself to a higher standard because she knows she's capable of achieving greatness. This self-respect becomes a guiding force in her life, helping her face challenges with dignity and grace. In addition to personal growth and self-care, solitude allows a woman to cultivate a deep sense of purpose. Without the distractions of social obligations or the influence of others, she has the space to explore what truly drives her, what she's passionate about, and what legacy she wants to leave behind. This sense of purpose gives her life meaning and direction. It fuels her growth and motivates her to keep pushing herself even when the road gets tough. Living with purpose also means that she becomes more focused on her long-term goals rather than getting caught up in the day-to-day distractions that often pull people off course. She's able to see the bigger picture and make decisions that align with her vision for the future. This sense of direction gives her a deep sense of fulfillment because she knows that everything she's doing is contributing to her personal growth and well-being. When a woman walks alone, she discovers that prioritizing her growth and well-being is not a selfish act, but a necessary one. It's through this process of self-discovery, self-care, and self-respect that she becomes the best version of herself. She learns that taking care of her own needs doesn't mean neglecting others. It means that she can show up more fully in her relationships and in her life. By prioritizing her own well-being, she becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving her goals and living a life that is true to her. In the end, walking alone as a woman is not a sign of isolation or weakness, but a powerful journey towards self-discovery, emotional resilience, and independence. It is through solitude that she gains clarity, strength, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. She learns to trust her instincts, prioritize her growth, and nurture her well-being without relying on external validation. This path equips her with the tools to face life's challenges with grace, set healthy boundaries, and live with purpose. Ultimately, she emerges not as someone who lacks companionship, but as someone who is fulfilled and whole within herself, capable of facing the world with strength, dignity, and confidence.